Hello, we're at the back end of summer here now at Homegrown Veg. We're nearly into our first autumn month and all the potatoes that I'm growing I've harvested. I'm growing potatoes at home and I don't grow a lot. I grow them in buckets, I grow them in bags, and all my potatoes are now harvested. Quite a few are in store, but we've eaten quite a few, and as the year goes on we'll eat all those potatoes, apart from some that I might set aside to use as seed potatoes next year. So when we run out of potatoes, what do? We go to the local shop, the local store, and we buy some potatoes, and so we've got potatoes to eat. But what I like to do is I like to save some of those potatoes to grow on the following year. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to cut you to a video that I shot some years ago on that subject. When you've watched that video, come back to me because I have something to show you. Hello, we're just about to move into our first winter month here at Homegrown Veg in the United Kingdom. This is something I like to do every year. I like to set aside some shop-bought, store-bought potatoes and grow them on in the spring of the year. We'll eat most of these. Most of these will go to the table. These will be cooked, we'll eat them. But two or three, if they're about the right size, I'll set them aside and I'll grow them on in spring. And I'm going to tell you how I do that. The procedure I follow works for me, it should work for you. It's not rocket science, this. And I'll show you some that I've already set aside some weeks ago. But let me spin this bag round, have a closer look at this label. Did you get that? Let's check it out. The variety is Manhattan. They were grown in the county of Angus, which is in Scotland in the United Kingdom, and they were grown by Jim Gray. How about that? So we're going to be growing on some of Grim J. Grim J's, I like that. We're going to be growing on some of Grim J's Manhattan potatoes in the spring of next year. Yeah, we'll leave that in. Nice slip of the tongue there. Okay, but before I take these out, I'll just push them off screen and I'll just show you these. Okay, here's a close-up of this label. Check this out. And I think these potatoes have been stored in this bag in the bottom of my refrigerator for about 2 or 3 weeks now. And basically, you choose the ones you want, you make sure they're dry, and then you store them. And I like to store them in tissue. And then every now and again that tissue gets slightly damp, so it's easy enough to put them in some fresh tissue, isn't it? Okay, now as you can see, they're not chitting, and they're not chitting because they are cold to the touch. They're definitely cold to the touch. And I've got 4 of these, I think. Yeah. Now there are other potatoes in my garage that have actually started to chip because we're having quite a warm autumn here in the United Kingdom. But it's not warm in the salad drawer of the fridge, it's cold. And that's where these guys are going as soon as I finish this video. Okay, just make sure that the potatoes are dry and then store them like this. Okay, if you don't want to store them in a plastic bag, that's okay. I like doing it in this bag because when I come to store these potatoes, I'll take them out of this bag and I'll know exactly what they are. I know exactly what they are. Right. Let's get these guys back in the shot. Let's open this bag and see what's what, so to speak. I will open it at the end. Decisions. Decision made. I'm going to take the end off it. Okay. Now I usually like to save potatoes that are between golf ball and tennis ball size. I just like that size. Somewhere between a golf ball and a tennis ball. So some of these are a bit big really for a seed potato. Well, they're a bit big for me for a seed potato. I mean, look the size of that one. I would say that's too big for a seed potato. Let's see what we've got here. Let's have a look. I think we may have got the contenders in that front row. Let's have a look. Where are we at? Right. Okay, so we don't want those two, far too big. Too big. Let's see, that's too big as well. Too small. What about these four? What do you think? Yeah, we'll go with these four, shall we? Right. And this is what I said I would do, and this is what I'm going to do. 1, 2. Now, if you go on and search on my channel, growing shop-bought or store-bought potatoes, you'll see me turning buckets out where I've grown these things over a number of years. And don't let anybody tell you it can't be done. Don't let them. Don't let them. Watch my videos and try and convince them. And if you still can't convince them, tell them to watch my videos. In fact, watch any gardener's video. A gardener that knows what he's doing and who is prepared to grow shop-bought potatoes. I mean, some guys have got to have certified seed, year in, year out. They don't know there's a cost of living crisis. And another thing, talking about certified seed, what are you actually getting certified? You see a certificate? How much more certification do you need than this? Variety Manhattan, County Angus, United Kingdom, grown by Jim Gray. That's enough certification for me, mate. I'm saying it's enough certification for you. Okay, these bigger ones go on the veg rack now. These ones go into the freezer drawer of the fridge until spring of next year. Hope you've enjoyed the video. You should give this a go. Even if you're going to buy seed potatoes, why not give this a go? Just try a few. See what you think. Already I've got in my collection 2 varieties. I've got 2 varieties. And hopefully by the time spring comes, I may have half a dozen varieties. And we'll be growing half a dozen different potatoes, store-bought, shop-bought potatoes in the spring of next year. Hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, a thumbs up would be nice. And if you're not a subscriber, why not? Why not? Okay, this is Homegrown Veg, signing out. Okay, so that's what I do every year. That's what I do every year. And as a consequence, I've grown a number of potatoes that I would never have grown before because they're not available as seed potatoes, but they are in the shops, they are in the stores, you can buy them to eat, and you can set them aside and you can grow them. I'll give you a list of things that I do in the text below the video. If you want to have a read of that, it will reinforce what I've just said in the video. Okay, so what is it you've come back for? What am I going to show you? Hey, check out this bad boy. Whoa! Look at the size of him. Look at the size of him. That was part of a delivery of potatoes that I took from a shop bought set aside potato called Tyson. What I'll also do is, in the text below this video, I'll give you links to some videos of me harvesting potatoes that are grown from shop bought, store bought potatoes. If there's any doubt in your mind that you can't grow from them, this will set your mind at ease and you will give it a go. Wow, look at that, Tyson. He's a big lad, isn't he? Just one in my hand. I think that potato there actually, on the scale, was a £1.25 from recollection. £1.25, one potato. Okay, so I hope you've enjoyed the video, and I hope this might have inspired you to set aside some of your store-bought potatoes to grow on next year. This is Homegrown Veg, signing out.